In this video I'll be taking you through how to build all the characters for Blackstone Fortress. So we're going to start with the Rogue Trader, and the first piece to put together is pop in the fur on the back of the model. So on all of these figures I have trimmed down these pegs, because doing so makes it much easier to fit these guys together. So a bit of glue on the peg, a little glue around the edge of the fur, a little bit of glue in the hole, and then push that hard and tight. So the next piece is going to be the front, but again this piece needs some assembly, so we look how we are going to put this guy together, and it is like this. So again, a little bit of glue, and slide, and you slide this guy in and down, and then like that. So you now have the back and the front piece. We've got another peg here which again has been shaved down, and we apply a bit of glue to here, a bit of glue to here, and a bit of glue where this joins. Then we find the hole and we push him in as hard as we can, and then we're ready to pop him down on the base. So with these it can be necessary to snap the model into the base, but we've applied a little glue to the feet, and there we go, that's the first. We move on to the Navigator, who again is a reasonably simple model. So on the back we're going to put this through here. So we apply a bit of glue to here. These models are very finely detailed, do not put too much glue on them. And you can see here how you've got two little bits sticking out. Which you need to line up so they pop in like so. So there we go with that one. Again, you got a front piece that is going to go on like that. So what you want is a bit of glue in the middle here, a little bit of glue around here, because then pop in this guy goes, and you can see quite clearly where you want this to join up. This is where you put lots of glue around the end of this peg and the entrance to here, because this is where you slide this guy together, and you want as perfect a join as possible, being incredibly careful of both this very delicate cane and these little delicate jutty outy bits there. And again, 2. We've now got the big fat priest, who comes in a number of pieces. So the first piece to put together is this arm going on here. So a bit of glue here, bit of glue here, and a good bit of glue around all these pieces. And so, bang, that goes in pretty perfectly. Next thing to do is to put the little melter pistol on the servo skull. So again, I've even shaved down this peg so that I can be sure of a nice smooth join. So then we've got this front piece. Again, the pegs have been shaved down. Still going to put a good bit of glue on them. And we line this big boy up and push that in as hard as it will go, being very careful of the detail. And then we've got the last piece, and a peg that I haven't smoothed down. A bit on there, then a bit on here, then that goes together. So to be fair, I may apply a tiny bit of liquid green stuff to this join. But looking at the rest, it's gone together very smoothly. And then again, bit of glue on the feet. There we go. 3. Fourth model is the Missionary Zealot. Again, 4 pieces, but we start off very simply putting the back of the skirt and the front of the body together. we got the glue on. Join goes together very nicely. We then want to put the head and front plate on. So of course a little bit here, because that is going to fit into here on the back. Like so. And then we have another piece, and again I've forgotten to take this down a little bit. Bit of glue there, bit of glue there, and a tiny bit of glue there. And that all goes together like that. So that's the fourth adventurer done. So now we start on the final 5 adventurers. We've got the Crute, who needs to go together quite simply. This cloak goes on. Like so. And again, I've forgotten to trim this peg a little bit. So looking at it, we've got a tiny little peg here that is going to go into this hand. We've got this arm here and this arm here joins together. We've got the head that goes together. So, head, hole, arm, hand peg, bit of neck there. And a bit of cloak as well. Push that tight. and then into the base, push that down, which gives another nice finished model. And you can see there's very little join line there on the cloak and on the shoulder pad and on the head. It's all gone in together nicely. 5 done. The Eldar Ranger. And again, I've trimmed one of these but not the other. So on this one the breastplate goes on first. Like so. So, with the breastplate in place, maybe the Norks on this don't look so enormously huge. They're still massive for an Eldar, to the point where they're disproportionately large, and they'd be disproportionately large for a human. But you can't always get perfect sculpts, and it's not like this is Infinity, is it? So, and we now pop this on the back. So there's lots of 3D effects of the stuff on the back. So yeah, the only thing that looks weird on the model is the enormous front part. Six. Okay, these guys are not amazingly large, so I've got to be particularly careful of some bits of them. Namely this little knife here. But the models are interesting because it tells you what they're doing with the Rattling Scouts when they turn them into plastics. So, and we've got a little peg here in the face. Little peg here in the hand as well. And another little peg in the chest on the back of the gun. So, and we pop that all the way through. I make sure those all join up. And then that peg comes out the back. We get that good and covered in glue. And do likewise with this. And that goes in facing up. And that's one Rattling sniper. Seven. Another rather small 4-piece model. So this goes into there. May as well pop that in to start with. Bit of glue on that bit of the grappling hook. Okay. So how does this piece come into it? Aha. So you are slotting that in from the back. Like so. And then you soften up this great big peg. Apply some glue all around there. Apply some glue all around there. And then you push this guy into place. Eight. And then you've got the star of the show, the robot. So we've got some big pieces that go together for this guy. So on the back, these need softening. To be fair, there's an argument to be made for painting this then sticking the backpack on, and that argument is if you want to give this a glow effect. If you don't, because it'd be an awful amount of work, then you do what I'm about to do and you just pop him in. You trim the peg a little, you soften it with glue. In fact, if you wanted to, there is a whole bunch of internal detail that you'll probably never see contained on the back of the robot. Because, does it get covered? Pretty much. And then the front of this guy. Soften the pegs a little bit, line them up, and in they go. this arm needs to be positioned so that this bit is okay. See, I love the design on the old assault cannons. So this assault cannon Mark 1 is absolutely gorgeous. At this point I'm going to apply glue to the feet. Pop the base in. And now the last peg gets softened. And oh, there we go. If we have a look at these, we've got some obvious wonderful models. I think the Kroot and the Robot are probably the highlights. Of the Imperials, the Navigator, just for sheer weirdness, I think is my favourite. These will look good in my sister's army when I get it. This will probably look good in an Eldar kill team. These, if this is how they do the Rattling Scouts for the new Imperial Guard release that's going to come out next year, then I am very happy to see these. But this gives you an idea of some of the things I've been playing around with, particularly for the sisters. So you've got a Zealot here and you've got a Priest here. These are not going to be available as separate models because of how the sprue layout is. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how they take some of the stuff they're doing. Because as with the original Warhammer Quest, Blackstone Fortress is a tease for how they're taking some of the lines and models that they're doing. In particular the Chaos release that we're going to be getting next year with the new Abaddon. The Renegade Guard, the Marines, the Chaos Lord, the Rogue Psychers, the Beastmen are all things that we're probably going to see again in that range, done a little bit differently. Because in this case these are easy to builds. But looking at this, these are some really, really nice models. I am very happy that I've got them. They did not take that long to put together. I did clean all the flash off, or try to remember to before the video started, and separate them from the sprue. But yeah, I would love to see these guys done as a unit, or even as a small army of Men of Iron, because I really like the look. Similarly, I'd love Kroot redone like this with more detail and done better. And I just do like a good Imperial oddball that you can include in your force as an observer or a VIP or something like that. So navigators, rogue traders, things like that are good for that sort of thing. So that's been me putting together the heroes from Blackstone Fortress, all done as step-by-steps. Tools I used: reasonable sharp craft knife, plastic glue, pair of cutters that I got with pair of cutters that I got with Conquest magazine. So it's not a complicated build. for people who have not done miniatures before but have picked up Blackstone Fortress because it's a board game, you've got to be careful doing it. There are some fiddly small pieces, things like canes, things like cigarettes, things like grappling hooks, things like cables that you get on some of the models. But if you're careful, you can put these together in about 30-35 minutes. So, in my store I'm currently selling Blackstone Fortress at £76. The link is below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like or subscribe. If you want to chat, leave me a comment. Otherwise, good gaming!